Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody. Welcome back to some Final Fantasy 13. Now, there is something you may notice. Down in the bottom right corner, we have a gremlin. That gremlin will be my avatar, as it were. And you may see this going forward, and it may change a little bit here and there. And I hope you like it. We'll play it by ear and see how it goes. But that is going to be a running thing for now. I am also using a different capture software. I'm using Streamlabs right now, as opposed to how I captured and did my audio before. I'm hoping this will be a little bit better quality, and also a bit easier as far as getting things done. Now, there may be a little bit of a feeling out period, a little bit of teething troubles here and there. So let me know what you think about it. And don't be too shocked if there are some changes here and there. But that is neither here nor there now. Right now we need to play some Final Fantasy 13. And part of the reason I started on the actual start screen is because we are going straight into a cutscene. If you remember when we last left our heroes, we had a big old fight with the Pulse Vestige. And we were in a flashback cutscene, one of Snow's memories, actually. And let's go. All our heroes are now falling down in this really, really beautiful icy, snowy crystal. Look at that. Good morning, Cocoon.
湖ごと結晶だと？何がどうなってんだ？ファルシュの力か？俺たちは一体どうやってここに？
私が知るか。生きてる。どうして？
セラだ。
セラだ。
あんなに上から落ちたのに助かるなんて奇跡だ。セラが助けてくれたんだ。
ふざけるな。いいか。セラはお前のせいで。
Now we're gonna get some enemies, which is hilarious that Snow is pushing her out of the way, as she is actually the badass. But now that everybody has been marked, we have magic. And we are now going to have a new combat system, which I will diligently go through the tutorial on. Alright. Paradigm system. We mentioned this before in an earlier video. We are going to view the tutorial because it has been a while for me. There we go. Left bumper for a paradigm shift. So all this is saying is we can switch the way our party is set up on the fly. So like here, I just switched to the one a little bit early. So now we have a healer. We have one commando and one sentinel. So we have heals, damage, and support, essentially. Now, I can switch back to Rolling List, where we have Commando and 2 Ravager. And we've got Commando, which is going to be important, because that will give us a lot of... allow us, rather, to keep a lot of our meter, rather than build it. Ravagers are going to be your damage, and you're going to build that meter up a lot, so we like those. Then, of course, we have Sentinel, which is more of a support, taking damage, applying some buffs, protection stuff. And then Medic, of course, does what it says on the tin. Now everybody gets cool tattoos. Lightning is not happy about it. And before you ask, I do have coffee.
全員ルシか。
I swear, if this boy falls to his knees one more time.
僕は関係ないのにあんたらがファルシなんかに手を出すから僕を巻き込むなよ。あんたのせいで僕のあんたもセラも迷惑なんだよ。
おい
悪い。
大丈夫だからね。
Vanille, stop enabling.
行こ
Stop enabling. Oh, Hope. Hope, Hope, Hope.
ルシか。
What a character you are.
おうみんな仲良くコクーンの敵ってわけだ。
My boy saw us making some muscles. It's time to rock and roll. Can't remember if there's anything back here, but it is a tradition to go backwards if you're allowed to. No. We're chilling right now. Let's rock and roll.
さすが軍人さんだ。落ち着いてらっしゃる。
We go straight into another cutscene.
使命がわから
That's
なけれ
alright.
ば
We're in
どう
engine
しよう
now.
もない。
う。もう見たと思う。
見た？
ルシの使命っつうのはああしろこうしろって言葉ではっきり説明されるわけじゃねえんだ。ぼんやり見えるだけなんだとよ。
Alright.
まあ伝説だがな。うん伝説だ。うん
Saw seems like the type to know more than he lets on, you know what I'm saying?
何か覚えてるか？
はっきりしないんですけど大きなすごく大きな
まさかお前らも見たのか。
Uh-oh. Do we have a shared purpose?
ラグナロク。
全員同じものを見て同じ声を聞いた。
Hazy
あれが使命
dreams,
でも
dark
あんなのだけじゃ
prophecies.
何すれ
Another
ば
day
いい
in
のか。
Final Fantasy.
そういうものなんだって。ファルシが見せるのはああいうものだけで、実際に何をやるかはルシが見つける。
俺たちパルスのルシはコクーンの敵だ。となれば使命はコクーンを
守るんだ。この世界を守るのが俺たちの使命だ。
うんうん。どうしてかな。
セラが言ったろ。一緒にやろう。力を合わせて戦うんだ。
I appreciate his
セ
spirit.
ラを探すぞ。きっとこの近
He's
くだ。
idealistic to a fault, though.
私も探すよ。
Alright. Party splitting up a little bit.
落ち着きのねえ野郎だ。
Rock and roll. And here we'll have the Crystarium, and that is going to be our upgrade system. So let's go ahead and view the tutorial. Go here. What a pretty upgrade screen. I love it. Alright. A whole lot of stuff there. But you can just hold down the button, and you can choose when it gets to a branching path. And you can spend points, but you don't have to have all of them. You can stuff points into a certain tree. I like how that sounds. And save them. Essentially bank the points that you have if you want to get to something else, or you want to get partially to something, then come back to it. So, we can do that. And see we've run out, which is going to explain. Here we go. Get partially there. Then I do want to get Life Siphon, which will be nice later on, because that'll just give you some more action. So get out of that. Then if we go back, we can go look at Snow. Snow is a pretty dang good tank. He's also a pretty good Sentinel as well. So I think we're going to do that. Now, does he have more points left? He's got 61. Let's look at his Ravager chart. Let's go ahead and get him some of that. And then I think we're going to save. We'll go and look at Vanille. Now, Vanille is very much a healer, especially later on. So we're going to go ahead and start putting a lot of points to Medic. And, before we get out of here, if you'll notice, down on the sides here, even party members that you're not actively controlling at the time will have points, and there isn't a very big difficulty as far as party members falling way behind if you aren't playing with them through a story section. So, don't worry about that. Now, let's rock and roll a little bit. Let's go ahead and drop a save real quick. And now, here's where we are actually... Alright. After that save, we're going to run around here and avoid those guys. Now, the reason I'm avoiding those guys is I don't know why it happens. But if I go down there, where those enemy markers are, and fight those guys, I all of a sudden crash. And that's a consistent problem I've had with the game, and I don't know why it happens. Let's see if we can get into a fight with this guy. There we go. That's better. Some splits. And let's bring her down. Fun fact, you can, in fact, miss in this game. So be careful of that. There we have the stagger now. The Commando Double Ravager is kind of your basic lineup. As you start to get your grips on it and get more comfortable, you'll end up having your own preferences. I don't know if I'll do it in this. Oh, there we are. I don't know if I'll do it too soon in this run or not, but when I've played the game before, I really like using a lot of heavy debuff and buff at the start. Kind of as an opener, unless I know for sure that it's going to be an encounter where, look at her jump, where I'm going to be taking a lot of damage out the gate, and then go into the more normal setups. So, there we go. Snow's up there being a silly goose. Let's get into another cutscene. Look at this guy. I swear, this is the kind of guy where as long as he has a singular direction to run to, he will keep going till the wheels fall off. Temper, temper. Uh-oh. It's the Hellgas.
素人が
He just straight up Street Fighter comboed that dude. That's crazy. Now she cuts off their escape too. This chick is brutal. We have another tutorial. Look at that. Now, I feel like this should have been a little bit earlier. But, you know, whatever. We kind of already looked at this with how different things have different LTB gauge requirements as far as how much they spin. That's really all it's looking at. Nothing to be too crazy about. But useful if you've never played the game before.
こいつらサイコムだろ。エリート部隊じゃないのか。
サイコムはパルスとの戦いが専門だからな。戦争なんて何百年もねえだろ。経験ゼロの連中が高い武器ぶん回してるだけさ。特務機関の人間より普通の軍人さんの方が地味な任務で鍛えてらっしゃる。俺たちルシの敵じゃねえわけ。
図に乗るな。下っ端は能なしでもサイコムの精鋭は化け物だ。そいつらが出てくれば終わりだ。
だったら逃げようよ。
If I remember right, the English does actually follow those subtitles a bit more. And she does actually say ciao when she runs off. It's very fun. Very fun character. She's very silly. Lightning's being moody again. Which, hey, I actually can't blame her in this situation. At least she isn't falling to her knees every 5 minutes, like Hope almost said Snow. Snow is the opposite of that. Alright. See if we can get some of these guys. Get some Crystarium points up. Ooh, big one. Let's go in, and we'll cast for him as well. Big damage. Alright. Actually. No. Attack rune. I have a whole lot of good options on any of these guys. Solidarity up, just so we can show some of that as well. You see with the commando, it refills that bar you've already made when it goes down from that red section, but it doesn't increase it very much. That's for your damage dealing Ravager types to do. It also helps when you are in a bit of a slog against a certain boss here and there, where you want to keep that meter up because that's where a lot of your damage is actually going to come from. But you still need to heal, you still need to apply your buffs and debuffs. It's a pretty fun system in my opinion. I like it quite a bit. I think it was a great way of expounding upon the active time system that we've seen in some of the earlier games from this. The active time battle system, I think, is also just a great, what would you say, a great innovation on the turn-based combat of JRPGs. I view it very similarly to press turn that Shin Megami Tensei has done, as far as making something that could be incredibly boring much more interesting. And another game, let's see, what was it called? Bravely Default, that was it. It had a very interesting system as well, where you could kind of, for lack of a better term, go into debt with your turns to spend more of them and do more actions up front, but then you would be paying for that and not being able to use those turns later. And likewise, you could pass your turns, and then you would store those up as turns that you could use instead of going into debt for them. It was really, really interesting. Actually, I think there was a second game, but I can't remember. I believe so. If there is, I'll have to look into getting that and playing it, because I actually really enjoyed the first game. Great art style, too. Very reminiscent of Yoshitaka Amano, my favorite artist, who has done a lot of the art for Final Fantasy games,
足手まといになるなよ
and a lot of solo art as well. He's very well regarded. An important thing too with this battle system, as you just saw, you can switch your paradigm on the fly. It's very nice if you get low like that, but it can be a double-edged sword because you can cut off in the middle of an action or when an action is casting, and it can cause that to not go through. Risk rewards. Now, a good meme for that, actually, is you go, oops, all Ravagers, where when you do actually get the stagger meter filled up, and you get that stagger, you then switch to 3 damage dealers and just melt anything that you're looking at, which is pretty fun. I'm sure there's got to be some fun, interesting, weird challenge runs throughout the community for how to play the game. Let's see. Got some equipment. She got a power wristband. I don't know if we want to put that on her. She doesn't have any. That's physical wall, though. Okay, let's give her Doctor's Code. And we're going to give Snow the Silver Bangle. Since he's a little bit more on the tanky side, that will do good for him. We don't like to go down these side paths. Not only are they gorgeous, because, I mean, look at this game. They made an area which is essentially just shades of a single color look gorgeous. But also, because you can find little goodies. We have a save point up here. Let's continue on. We're going to be a little bit brave, and we're going to keep going instead of stopping at a save point, as is our usual.
ああみんなこうしてあったのもなんかの縁だろ自己紹介しねえか俺はスノービリアス
Snowvidius.
お前は
ホープエストハイム
お姉さんは
オーダム治安連隊所属通称ライト名字はファロン
Lightning
名前
Fair.
は知らね
バニラ
さすが強い
I wonder what part of the world Katsuroi would be a name of. Sounds Eastern European, but
ガキを巻き込んじま
I'm not very good with all that sort
え
of
ガキ
thing.
どもは俺が守るよ
Your guess is as good as mine.
俺から見りゃお前もガキさ
I do like this kind
パ
of
ルスの
bluesy
パルシに
harmonica
手
thing
出
going
した
on.
のがケチのつき始めたな政府に任せときゃよかったか生まれた時から食い物も水も全部政府のパルシに頼ってきたんだしな
それでもあんたは戦ったあるんだろ守りたいものが
あったかもな
That's
今のはよ
right. We don't know why Saw's got mixed up into all of this. 'Cause he's not exactly getting dragged into it. He's here for a reason too.